The Apprentice came about as a result of me having raced in 3 Raid Galois, produced 9 eco challenges, 16, produced 6 survivors. That's 21. 21 extremely remote outdoor shows. And while being a person of adventure and loving nature in the raw, both experiencing it, producing content, television with it, but also becoming a little exhausted of, am I always going to only produce things in the middle of nowhere? And a conversation with James, my young son, who on one phone call via probably satellite phone from somewhere said, "Daddy, I forgot what you look like." And I was like, ugh. And just saying, asking God, is there anything I can do in a city? Is there anything else? And looking for a sign. Seeing a documentary while I was in Brazil, which was a BBC documentary, was about like a job interview. And that's spurring off an idea for me. And then thinking, well, I wonder if there'd be a show, kind of Survivor-ish, but it takes place in a city. And it's all about people trying to get a job. But instead of a resume, they would have contests every week, tasks, business tasks, and they'd be seeking some big job. And Donald Trump came to mind. I'd met him previously when I was producing the finale of Survivor Marquesas. I'd rented the Trump Warman skating rink in Central Park. Great backdrop of Manhattan skyline. They'd built 5,000 seat bleachers. Had Rosie O'Donnell there to host it. And Donald had given us a lease and met Donald. He told me how much he loved Survivor, and that were I to ever have any ideas for him, he'd love to hear it and love to work with me. So now I'm in the jungle in the Amazon trying to think what I'm going to do, and thinking about a job interview show with the reward, the winner, getting a big job in big-time American business, and Trump was the obvious choice. And that meeting with Trump at Survivor Marquesas finale in New York led on to using that personal contact to having the ability to meet Donald directly, having the credibility of Survivor behind me. And the rest is history, What everyone said to Donald and myself, a business show won't work on TV. Although Jeff Zucker saw the opportunity immediately and took the risk and stepped up and made an immediate deal. And it became total hit show, Thursdays at 9. Survivor was on, I kept the 2 shows. Part of my deal was they couldn't be opposite each other. And so Survivor was on Thursdays at 8, Apprentice on Thursdays at 9. And suddenly I had 2 of the top 10 shows, or 2 of the top 5 shows, I think, on American TV, both on the Thursday night. And I took some of my key Survivor team, broke them off, and had them become the Apprentice team. Because I'm very close to the vest in my trusted, brilliant, creative people that I surround myself with and rely upon. And next thing you knew, we were back-to-back running 2 competition, unscripted drama shows. The rest is history. And we're about to start shooting Celebrity Apprentice, which would be number 11, which is, it morphed into a charity version where people weren't really looking for a job with Trump, but they were looking to become The Apprentice. And we've done a few versions of Celebrity Apprentice. I have sold the format of The Apprentice worldwide. It's very, very big, in many countries. And one country in particular that's very big in is the UK on BBC. And the BBC did a special of a celebrity charity apprentice, and that's where that idea came from. And rather than do a special, I turned it into a series, and it continues. And we're about to start shooting Celebrity Apprentice, which will be the 11th edition of Apprentice. So I've done now, I've shot 22 versions of Survivor and 11, that's half as many, apprentices.